So while Mike was driving, I'm buying in my car, and I was terrified because I'm like, you failed at things and you wasted a lot of time and worked really hard in network marketing. What's going to be different? You know what my answer was? Me. That's what's going to be different. Me. The moment you take accountability for you, your entire world can change. And that was the moment I got my credit card out and I literally purchased. And I said to myself, you will follow this step by step. What's the worst thing that can happen? I learned new skills. I learned how to build an email list. I learned something. That's the worst thing that can happen. But funny story is, I didn't have the money to invest. And I looked at my calendar, and my daughter's braces, my son and daughter's braces, were payment was due in 7 days. And I refused to call them in 7 days and tell them I couldn't make the payment. I refused. It wasn't going to happen. I was like, that's a non-negotiable. See, sometimes you guys don't have success because your back's not against the wall. Now, some of you freeze when your back's against the wall. Me, because I'm an action taker, I'm like, no, that's going to push me to have success. I launched my business on the 10th. Everything was set up on the 12th. I had my first $300 day on the 13th, then a 600. It was because I had what's called urgency. But because I have the patterns of making decisions like that. And I love the fact that Celine's the same way, by the way. That's why she's my personal assistant. Let me give you an example. When we realized we bought the car, I literally messaged Celine. I'm like, hey, where do you live? She told me, and I'm like, oh, I would love to take you out to dinner. She's like, okay, what time? Literally, it was like this. It was not like, well, let me see. And then I'm like, okay. She goes, what's your ETA? And I'm like, 6 o'clock. She got on the phone. She found a restaurant and we met there. It was like, do. And I'm like, oh my God, I love her. Because we didn't have to think about it, like, well, I mean, what if? No, it was like boom, boom, boom. Look at your patterns in life. You got to break some of these patterns that are limiting you from success. Like, you just have to break these patterns. Like, it's just, man, you talk to anybody in my family, anybody that knows me, and they are like, you will take action so quick, it was a blur. Because life is too short. Just freaking fail. Just fail. What can happen if you fail? You learn something. I have been a failure for a long time, but because I was willing to fail, I'm here today as a millionaire talking to you. And I'm still just that gal from Kansas that's having a really bad hair day. She got her hair pulled up. Scared. Because I'm here, because I took uncomfortable action. I wasn't afraid to fail. You know what I was afraid of? Regret. I was afraid of having to look at my kids when I'm older, going, dude, I wonder if I would have tried that, if I could have had more time with you guys. But instead, guess what my kids learn? If you work hard enough and if you want something bad enough, don't overthink it, get it done. My kids are like, when are you going to be home? We want to drive in the car. When are you going to be back? Like, they are so fired up. We've had to send them like 500 videos. It's not the freaking car. It's the decisions we made to have the car. Because we couldn't have the car if we wouldn't have taken uncomfortable action. It's not the freaking car. It has nothing to do with the material things. It has to do with that we had the courage to do something different. And that's what I'm teaching my kids. It's the courage. Like, my son gets me. And he's like, what did he say? He goes, you navigate. This is my son. You got to understand. He's literally a mini me. He's like a male version of his mama. And he's like, you navigated that process. I'm like, I did. Mike wouldn't have done it. And I'm trying to break him of that, because once I break him of that, he's freaking brilliant. But he's got to get over that hurdle of like over processing things. No, I probably need to balance it a little bit. Just like, I'll share this with you guys. We just left a mastermind. She came up to me and asked me one question. I literally answered that question, and her response, I was like, that's it. That's all I needed to hear. I couldn't unhear it. I couldn't unthink it in my brain. I was literally like, that's what I paid 50,000 for. Was that, I literally, I don't give a crap if I ever talk to her again. I just needed that one thing. And I literally am implementing it in 2025. How many of you hear something that's really freaking good, but you still haven't implemented it? And it's interesting, the very end, she was like, okay, what was everybody's biggest takeaway? I said, that one thing you said to me. And she goes, Michelle, that will make you $100 million, by the way. And she walked off. Because she knows I'm an implementer. She goes, you drive to completion. They go, she literally said, you guys, you want to know why she's successful? She drives to completion. She's not about being perfect. She's not about being right. She drives. And I'm telling you, a lot of these questions you guys are asking in the chat, that's why I pivoted, by the way, because a lot of these questions you've asked in the chat are because you're not driving. You're trying to come up with an excuse to not take action on your life. Shock yourself. Make a decision. Stop overthinking it. Be coachable. Become a sponge and realize the difference of you making what you want to make is you're lacking in skills or you are lacking in determination or execution. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's why I've seen people that were beginner friendly join this community and just smash it. Had zero experience and just crush it. If Amy could take the time to share more of her story, single mom, 3 kids, 2 jobs, like literally working 70 plus hours. And she turned around and made 100K in 9 months. She was able to walk away from her jobs. And it wasn't an easy process, but she's an executor. The only reason why you think you can do it, that's the story you're telling yourself. Why don't today you get off of here and write a new chapter, or do like I did, write a new book? Because guess is what I said to myself on September 10th. The book I'm writing is the one I'm really proud for my kids to read. Really proud for my grandkids to read. Because guess what they're going to get out of the book? That you never quit and you have 100% control to change your life. Many of you know I'm closing on a duplex on Monday. I paid cash for a duplex on Monday that generates, it's already rented. So I got like some work to do. It's already rented and it's going to make me 40,000 a month or a year in cash flow. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would, first of all, have the money to do that. So my goal, because I'm a legacy builder, my goal, I have 6 kids, 5 grandkids. My goal is to purchase 11 duplexes. Well, 30 is my goal, but 11 of them, each of them are going to get one when I'm gone. So each of them will have a cash flow of 40,000 a year. How many of you dream like this? Or do you worry about what's happening in the news? Or do you worry about what's happening on TV? Or do you worry about what's happening with your neighbor? Or do you worry about the price of bread? See, I worry about having my family when I'm gone be like, dude, I just want to do what she did. I just want to make a bigger impact. I want you to really think about that. Like, I just want you to stop playing small. And you are here for a reason. Please don't be here for a season. Don't be a quitter. Be a finisher. Drive to completion. Set that your foundation in 2025. You're going to launch a business in December of 2024, and you're going to drive to completion in 2025. Set that goal and don't look back. Set that goal and don't look back. Yes, exactly. What do you want to be remembered for? Exactly. Like, I don't want to be remembered for the mom that quit because things were hard. Because network marketing did get hard. And I was like, I started telling myself, well, maybe it's because you're too old. Maybe it's because you don't want to, maybe like I started being the victim in my life. So I had to push through and become the victor. And that's what I'm sharing with you today. So I want to say something real quick. I always put him on the spot. Daryl, I wanted Daryl to share on the webinar we just did. Gosh darn it, we ran out of time. But Daryl, I would love for you just to share, if you could, just give a little bit. Like, dude, he had so much adversity as well. Do you
Hey,
have
hey,
time to share?
yes, I do. Yes.
Awesome.
Man, I'm
And I
just,
mean, you through a lot and you're here. I mean, did you ever think a year ago that you would find something and implement it and you're so close to 300K?
no, not, I mean, not even like, I put it to you guys like this. Like, me and my wife had talked about filing for bankruptcy. This is how bad it was for us. Like, we talked about this back here in November of 2023. So way before this year even got here. We just had so much stuff that was going on. And sometimes, when it rains, it just pours. And I'll say this, like, you know, I was trying everything. I was doing insurance, I was doing affiliate marketing. It seemed like for a minute there was a time where I had like a shiny object syndrome for everything, and I know it was getting on my wife's nerves because she kept saying like, oh my god, this and that. None of it's really working, and it really wasn't working. And the reason why is because I didn't have the right skills. I didn't have the right. I didn't have no mentor, not one that I had to that could really help me. And so I was just, a lot of time we just get sidetracked and we just, we have a family to provide for and stuff to do. So we're just caught up in this thing called this 9 to 5 or just working. And so even when January came, guys, I wasn't in digital marketing. I wasn't on TikTok. I didn't have no huge brand. I didn't have no following. I didn't have an email list that I thought was an email list anyway. Like I was just trying to make it like a lot of people. And I was actually in January, I was doing, and no, this is far after I done got fired and stuff, but I was actually a life insurance broker. I was helping people with burial coverage. I was making booking home calls from 8 a.m. in the morning to 8 p.m. driving all across Tennessee. I'm talking about just, getting home at 10:30 at night. So I still wasn't seeing my wife. I still wasn't seeing my kids. I was still broke, everything. And so in 2023, I made $62,000 in 2023, right? And my wife actually made, well, as a family, I guess we made almost 90,000. But it ain't how much you make, it's how much you keep. And we was in a lot of debt. So technically it still kept us broke, taking a pen and paper to Costco's and Sam's and Walmart to grocery shop, like I'm sure a lot of people do. And so I came across this program, I just seen a post on Facebook. I don't even know who the lady is anymore because I haven't even seen her, but I know she said something about how she made $600 working 2 hours a day. And and it's funny because I was actually waiting for I was in a lady's in her bed in her house, and I was waiting for her to get approved through I was waiting for her to get approved through the insurance. And so while we were waiting, I was just kind of scrolling and I popped up on it. But make a long story short, I just answered that. I answered it. I followed her and then I just reached out to her and asked her for some information. I inboxed her. And what's crazy? I never in 1,000 years, I'm talking about like literally, thought that I would be debt free. I never in 1,000 years thought that I could get $40,000 paid to Sally Mae. I went to school for 3.5 years to be a network engineer. I just didn't graduate, right? But I still owed them. The fact that I don't have no Sally Mae, the fact that I'm completely debt free, I paid off both my cars. I've bought another car that I paid cash for. Um, my wife has no debt. And this is all because of this program, man. And I joined this program and I told myself I wanted to make six figures, in 2000 by the end of the year. I just had big dreams. Whether I knew I was going to get them or not, I had to I had to say something to my mind to push myself. Right? I've never been anyone who's my work ethic is impeccable. Like I knew that wasn't going to be the issue. It's all about just getting the right training, a mentor who's been there, who can lead you, a community who can support you and be there for you because they're going through the same thing that you're going through, and they want what you have access. I mean, they want what you have, which is time freedom. We want more time with our families. We want to be able to travel. We want to be able to just become debt free. We don't have to worry about checking our accounts to before we get gas or go get groceries or whatever, stressing about when we're going to pay for our bills or on behind. It's going to be another year like it was. This holiday is going to be like it was the last three. No, we want that freedom, and I've been able to get that. And just outside of the income that I've made, which is, I'm around about 285,000, which is just like, it don't even seem real. Like, honestly, like, it's crazy that I get to wake up, the skills that I have learned, that I can wake up and create a couple pieces of content on social media, a platform that brings over 5 billion people to every day. And then I can sit back and enjoy myself when I get that 2 hours done. And like this last night when I was watching Roots, the new Roots movie, $900 came in. At midnight, the night before, 900 came in. And then 1,400 came in the other day. Like, I'm almost at $4,000 just in the last, I don't know, a little bit over 48 hours. I never made that much working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day as a welder. And the fact that we're able to learn these skills, we're all on social media. We all have access to a phone, internet. Like, it's just mind-boggling. And I've seen this statistic where it says over 1,700 millionaires are made every day, and over 55% of them are made from social media. Like, we already have everything that we need, and so I'm just grateful to be a part of this business. I would have never even thought that in less than 12 months, just a year ago, I made 63,000, but here I am in 2025. I done convinced myself that I'm gonna make $1 million in 2025. I done convinced myself. Now, whether I do it or not, I can only control what I control, and that's being consistent. That's being showing up. That's showing up on the web, listening to people who have done better than me, who know better than me, relearning, unlearning to relearn, like whatever it takes. Like, because my goal is to build a homeless shelter because I was homeless, and I lived in a shelter with 16 other men, and I saw the despair and people who are hopeless. And I never want to. I mean, I never want to ever come across a situation like that again. And so my passion is to build a homeless shelter, furnish it, free everything, right? But you got to have capital to do that, right? And of course, I want to do a variety of other things, but it's just all about giving back. But the best thing, guys, is I'm able to do stuff and where my children don't have to stress. My wife don't have to stress. Trust me, guys. Anybody that's married, yeah, when the wife is stressed, it's not good, guys. I'm telling you. So it's good to see her smile now. It's good to, we have a Christmas tree up already. It's been up since like November the 4th. We've never even had that. There's tons of Christmas gifts up under that tree. We've got tons to wrap. I mean, just and again, it's just all thanks to taking advantage of what we have access to, which is social media, this training. It's just training. It ain't,
Mhm.
we hear so much stuff, guys. This is training. This is no different than if you wanted to be a doctor. You had to go to school and you have to spend over 200 grand on education and get your books in your lab. This is the same thing. The only difference is the digital just means that you have your training right there on your phone. You don't need books. And I just encourage you guys, man, like, with what's going on, the world is digital. Everything. The phone's digital, uh social media is digital. Amazon is an online business. That's digital. Anything, guys, it's all digital. This is where we are. Nobody has a rotary dial phone in their house anymore. You we all have iPhones because this is where we are. So I just encourage you guys, skills are everything. I was always told, if you want to, the income you're making right now is based on the skills that you have acquired. So if you want to if you want to make more income, you have to increase your skills. I mean, you have to learn more skills. And this is digital marketing. This is a digital educational program. Guys, the world is digital. This is where we are. So I just encourage you guys, if you're on the fence, Michelle is a hell of arguably the best mentor I've ever had. I'm talking about someone who just, I've had some good mentors, but she just gives us everything. And you can't, there's not millionaires out here who are spending hours and hours and hours just investing their time into a community. you know, and just giving us everything. Everything that you have over here is everything that you need to build a successful, long-term, profitable, daily paying business so that you can just be out doing whatever you want while your automations are out there just working for you on your behalf, guys. So I just want to say this. If a regular old country boy, one of 13 siblings, grew up in the projects on welfare, slept on wood floors, it has nothing to do with where you come from, guys, was homeless, got fired, lived in a shelter, slept in his car out by a lake, lived in the woods, brushed my teeth in the Hardy's bathroom. It doesn't matter because I have the same program that she has and 40, almost 47,000 other people. You have access to have the same everything. And if you can commit to 2 hours a day and stay consistent and show up, guys, I don't know how much income you'll make because I don't know what your work ethic is, but I do know you'll have some success. And I just encourage you, one last thing, guys, to not be poor. And that means just passing over opportunities repeatedly, man. This is the best program, the best community, the best mentor. We have the best leaders. Everything you need to be successful, guys, is right here inside the Legacy Builders program. So I know it's long, Michelle, but I just want people to know that you don't have to be special. You don't have to come from money. You don't have to have some type of status. You don't have to need any of that. All you need is 2 hours a day, the blueprint, and be able to stay consistent, and it can work for you.
Thank you for sharing. I love your story.
Yeah.
Ah, so good. I do got to share something with you guys because I love what he was saying about helping people. So when I became a mom, one of the things I did with my kids is I wanted to teach them at Christmas time. It's about giving, not receiving. And so we would go to the local bank and get an angel off the tree, and my kids would go shop for a child. And
That's awesome.
so every one of my kids did that. We still do that. It's been a tradition since, so for 31 years now. And now I do that with my grandchildren. But I got to share this with you because last year we got 100 names.
Wow.
Yes, we did 100. This year we're doing 200. And I got to share with you, look at my Target telling me all these orders are delivered to my door. Me and my daughter have literally been hardcore shopping on Target and Amazon and Walmart because we don't have time. And then, so now, and it's so funny, I have some contractors at my house and they keep on sending me pictures. I brought more boxes in and 200 families, you guys.
That's
So I'm
awesome.
telling you, it's the lives that you can impact and help is absolutely amazing. And that's what I love. And so my kids are like this weekend going to have a present wrapping for all these people. And they know it's because of digital marketing that we are helping 200 families. And here's something else we do. Not only that, but at our local grocery store, each of those families are going to get a $100 gift card for food.
That's wow. That's
And
awesome.
we will never meet them. They have no idea who we are. That's the real reason why I want my kids to do this. It's not about them knowing that you made a difference. It's about you making a difference in the world, and nobody needs to know you make that difference. And I'm just telling you, that's what I love what I do. That's why I'm so passionate. That's why I love pouring into my community, because I can't change the world on my own. Not possible. But if we create a movement, we can. And look at that, Daryl's movement, a homeless shelter. That's a huge movement, right? And that's what I absolutely love. So I just want to thank everybody for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed this 3-day workshop. Now, starting in like 3 minutes, that's why we got to get off of here. Michelle is actually doing that onboarding success training. So once you get started, go into the community, go on the calendar, you'll see that. And Monday, I'm going to come back with you and I'm going to do a live interactive launch to profit in 7-day training, literally break down with you what type of content to create, how to launch and grow next week. Imagine if you could get your business in profit mode next week. So thanks, everybody. Have a good day. And thanks, Daryl. You're awesome. And you will be a millionaire. I see it.
Locked in.
I see it. Yes,
All right.
definitely.